What's up, YouTube? Today we're going to talk about toxic and dangerous minerals. It's an extremely large category of thought to go into that. So let's just throw in a couple little fun points and let you decide. I just read an article about the 10 most dangerous minerals on Earth, and it was totally awesome. I really liked that article. It showed you a lot of different things that are both common and rare. Some of these mineral specimens were so rare, yet so toxic, that they were worth mentioning. It's so interesting. And certain people like to collect only toxic minerals. I know one of these people. And if you go into a rock shop, don't just go in there and touch all the rocks, okay? I know you want to. You don't know everything you're touching. So don't just go in there and touch everything if you don't know what you're touching. My rock guy, he sells asbestos, he sells lead, he sells mercury ore, cinnabar, anything. He doesn't care. People buy that crap. Just because it's dangerous makes people want to buy it more. So let's just go into like a few of the taboos that I notice in my area and I just won't be too involved in. A lot of actinolite up in the mountains right here in Southern California. Pretty much every other rock is actinolite. If you start going up to Wrightwood or Baldy or anywhere, actinolite's all over the place. It's just a green, it'll look like granite, but the granite will have green spots in it of fibrous stuff. Or you could find a pure actinolite that's just all green crystals. I have a friend that has at least 1 ton actinolite. I don't know how the hell he got it in a car, but actinolite has asbestos in it, and the thing about it is asbestos is in the atmosphere due to these rocks weathering. So as I look at a bunch of river rocks with actinolite ground around it, you know all of the asbestos went right into the soil. So messing around with the soil is kicking up a lot of actinolite, kicking up a lot of asbestos. And our state rock in California is serpentine, which is asbestos. So there's been a lot of different species that have developed to live with the asbestos soil. But recognize it's in our atmosphere, and you have asbestos in your lungs already, just from rocks naturally weathering and inhaling what's naturally weathered. So you'll never get away from it, even if I try to teach you all about it. What you need to know about asbestos is not to grind it. When you're grinding it, it has to be wet. Like if people are cutting a piece of asbestos, it has to be wet before you even start cutting it. Like if you're storing it, store it wet. When you cut it wet. Don't let any of the dust kick up. I don't grind anything dry. It's just wrong. Any kind of rock, even if it's not dangerous, don't grind it dry. Now, other things aren't to be touched, like cinnabar. Cinnabar crystals are actually present in the fluorite up here in Azusa Canyon and stuff, Angeles Crest. I have friends that go up to the Felix mine, and they mess around with those fluorites with cinnabar and crystal inclusions. I wouldn't be grinding those into gemstones, and there are people that take those fluorites and cut them, facet them. There's purple ones up there, actually. I shouldn't have said that. But, yeah, there's radioactive rocks, there's toxic rocks, there's fibrous rocks. Each one has a whole entire versing of what's dangerous about it. Is it dangerous to touch it and then eat? Is it dangerous to grind it and let it go in your lungs? Most of the time, if you don't touch it, nothing's going to happen to you. So don't just go in the rock shop and touch everything. You don't know what you're touching. There's very beautiful things you want to touch, and you shouldn't.